Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where we break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. And today we're doing Everton against Brighton. Now, there's a couple of little dodgy things here from the old referee, and I think Everton should have had a penalty. We will cover that, but also I'm going to have a look. I don't know what Ashley Young is doing on this football field at 39 years of age in the Premier League. You're asking for trouble, and he gets himself sent off, where he might have got away with that 10 years ago. You're just not getting away with that nowadays. Everton, I think, are going to struggle this season. The last year at Goodison, they actually played quite well, despite their points deduction last year. If you actually watch their games, if that points deduction didn't happen, I think the confidence in their team would have been much better because they'd have been much higher up the league table, and they won't be struggling and worrying about relegation on the last game of the season. But I want to talk a little bit about their team structure and shape right here. So you've got 1, 2, 3 players forward right here. We'll just highlight them so you can see what I'm talking about. 1, 2, 3 here. Okay, and you've got the back, back whatever it's meant to be, because I think this is actually Young going on a complete nut walkabout. But the midfield line is about there. This guy here, right, you've got a problem because one of you guys really needs to be here tracking a striker or trying to make a decision, but you really can't because you have to drop off and take the space away. The space is dangerous in this situation. If you are up here trying to defend him, then you've got a problem. But if you are in this situation where you know you've got to drop off, one of these midfielders has to be back here helping, because I think this is the only midfielder right here. Everybody else, I know, okay, you're getting caught on the transition and all that stuff, but you're overcommitting players. If they've still got 4 players forward, basically against 5, well, maybe 4, because Ashley Young is not sure what he's doing, you're going to get caught out. And because of the way that Brighton are holding their shape, it's going to make it really, really difficult for Everton to defend this on the counter-attack or on the transition. So as this ball gets played here, you can see he's pointing. Well, what's going to happen in the Premier League? Well, if you watch my channel before, you're going to know within the next 5 seconds, somebody is going to score a goal because somebody on the field is pointing at somebody to do something. Now, the other problem you've got is you've got 2 players here going for the same ball. I've done a couple of examples where this has already happened so far this season. There's some really good ones of when I think it was Trent Alexander-Arnold got it defensively correct and they didn't both go for the same ball, right? So what ends up happening is 2 players on one little pass, and now everyone here is null and void, and it's just a 2v2 on the back post here. And of course, this is the blindside run. Now, if this Ashley Young character was playing right back and didn't run into centre midfield to challenge for this ball, he may have been actually out wide doing his job properly, and the tap in on the back post might not have happened because, well, he would have been doing his job properly. He's not. He's pressured over here in the midfield, and it didn't make any difference whatsoever because the guy's still just going to pass the ball. Hold your shape. Get back and do your job. Stop trying to come in here. It's just terrible. And what ends up happening is Dosh, great little pivot turn there, knocks it on. And there's the other sad part. I think I think I'm wrong. I don't think it's this guy here that scores the goal. It might be this guy here that these 2 were both marking in the first place. Go with the runner. Go with him. You just passed the ball. Both of these 2 players are now absolutely out of the play. When you find yourself completely sort of out of the play, don't go chasing the ball. Get yourself back goal side. Keep running. Get yourself back here in goal side and see what you can do. And maybe you have to look at this body shape. Oh my God, this is terrible. Look at him. He's having to do a spin, turn around, run. It's just poor. It's just poor. Right. So as this ball gets moved forward, Dosh, look at that spin. You can just tell that he's going to do it before I even see it. Oh. It's one of those simple things that people just don't understand because you don't really get taught it on coaching licenses about how your body moves and where your feet are and how you actually turn. So you don't actually need to turn if your feet and your shoulders are in the right place. All you have to do is just really turn your head or take a step, and as you take that step, your whole body turns, and you don't need to worry about it. But he's ended up doing like a little pivot spin run here for no reason. Well, it is a reason. His body shape's completely wrong. And then we were looking to play the ball out wide, but you can see how exposed this left back now is, because you got 2 players just running straight at him. Remember, we're looking at the blindside run. And is anyone tracking the runner? Because these 2 players were right with him here. Now they're not. Let's just move this forward. 1v1 situation right here. And if you get beaten in a 1v1 situation, that just means the other player's better. It sounds silly, but what you really need then is your teammates to back you up. And you can see that this cat right here is too far away. He hasn't got back in enough and started closing this space. Don't know why he's just a little bit too slow to react. He needs to be backing up his mate right here, because if he isn't good enough and he does get beaten in that 1v1, his teammate then can step in and cover. Now look at that player making a little ghosty run, going behind. Don't worry, neither of these two that were just with him are going to bother to mark him whatsoever. So I think that's Ashley Young. We're going to call you out again because you're rubbish at the football. You're 39, almost 40 years old. You can't be starting in the Premier League as a right back at that. You're just going to be found out. You're just not good enough. When he gets done here down the inside, look. Here we are. Completely and utterly unmarking this guy. Yes, he should have been over there as well. Now he's starting to make a run over and identify the danger, which he didn't immediately. And now we're just looking a little simple. By the way, it's a decent ball. It is a decent ball across, and it is a nice little tidy finish. But it comes with basically Everton not sort of just realising the simple dangers of a 1v1 here, him not coming in and covering the space behind his teammate, you not bothering to track your runner or play as a right back, because I don't know why you just, that's it. Rubbish at 39 years old. Yeah, you shouldn't be playing. We all know that. Ball comes across, 1, 2, dosh, 3 into the net box. And there he is, holding his head high. Oh my God. Both of you guys were with that player, tracking him there, and you just didn't bother. That's why you lost the goal. Let's get on to the next play. Playing out of the back, Brighton completely and utterly screwed it up. And the ball comes here to, I think it's Calvert-Lewin. And all of a sudden, he's had a bit of a bad touch, but he's trying to take his shot away. And you're looking at the referee. There's no one between them whatsoever. Now, you have to remember, when VAR overturned this decision, is it a clear and obvious error? Does that mean that the referee has completely got it wrong? Clear and obvious error. Well, it's not a clear and obvious error, and I'm going to show you why in a second. In he comes, dosh, goes to ground. I do think he makes a meal of it, but it still is a penalty if you watch it from this angle. Watch where his foot is, and I'm going to show you there. So there's no way this guy's reviewed this properly on VAR, or VAR is just completely and utterly on the take. It's one or the two. He didn't do his job properly, or VAR is completely and utterly corrupt. You can't... There is no other answer. We saw it all last season in the Premier League, and we're seeing it again this season. So look, he's gone to ground there. Okay, is he going to touch the ball or block a shot? Is he? No, right. He hasn't blocked a shot. He hasn't touched the ball, and he's on the ground. All right. So how does this guy go down? Let's have a little look. Move it forward ever so slowly, because Cash isn't so good with the terminology stuff. I'm a coach. I'm not a YouTuber, but I'm trying to be. One day I'll figure out how all the software works, and we'll be a million times better. Right. As he goes forward, there's his foot. Oh, actually, maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe it's not a pen. Maybe he just pulls it away. Yeah, maybe he just pulls it away. Let's have a little look at that. Oh, Cash can be wrong once in his life. It's possible. It's possible. Maybe he stands on him. Yeah, he stands on him and he pulls his foot away. Yeah, okay, ref. But even so, though, is it clear and obvious? I don't know. If you're looking at that now, I'm not thinking it's a penalty, you know. See, yeah, now I'm not thinking it is. Goes down, makes a meal of it. All right, maybe I'm wrong, and it shouldn't have been a penalty. But there we go. Got to admit your mistakes. If you don't, you don't grow. Let's get on to the next goal. Okay, so this again, to me, is just a complete and utter coaching issue. There's certain points when you just need to be a footballer and you don't need to play the system, or you need to do the thing that you're right. So, for instance, you've just brought the ball out of the back. Right? So you now know there's no one behind you. It's just open space. You cannot lose the ball. So you've got two players in front of you. Pretty much the only real pass you want to try to do is put it to where, this is all we can see. We can only see these players here. That's where your players are. So you're trying to thread the ball through an eye of a needle that way, but you don't want to play this square pass. The reason you do not want the square pass is because you've got this space behind you. And you know, if you play a square pass and it gets cut out, well, they get to score a goal. He doesn't seem to understand that, getting paid a couple of $100,000 or whatever he gets paid a week in the old Premier League, and doesn't realise he just has to put the ball away and try to make sure his team doesn't concede another goal. Just get it away, because you've made the run forward into the space, but no one from your team has come to collect the ball. So what are we talking about? This guy, look at his body shape. He's looking to go down this way. He's looking to get away. He stood still, but there's no one coming to collect the ball. He's not coming to collect the ball. He stood still. If he stood still, that means, well, this other player, anyone who's slightly on their toes, is going to get there half a yard before him. So you don't want to be passing to him, right? You don't really want to be trying to pass it to him, but you might want to knock it to him or in behind that space there, anywhere past that line, so that somebody can do something with it. He doesn't. What he does is he takes it a little bit further. Look at this poor pass. Someone's on their toes. Remember what I told you about someone being on their heels, flat-footed. He can't get there quick enough. All right, because as soon as that pass is made, he's on his toes. 1, 2, 3. Would have loved that ball in behind right there into that space. They would have created something. But no, he knocks it square, and that guy just... and it's a poor pass. Oh my God, Cash is booming it right. Don't worry, we're back on track. It's not going to be the last time I mess up like that either. Yeah, he just makes a really bad pass. This guy's got... he had no intention of wanting the ball or receiving it. Shouldn't have really been playing that pass in the first place. And now you're just off to the races. Bump, steps in, and away we go. Now, you know that big gap that you just ran out of with the ball and made that stupid pass? Well, this guy's just going to run down the middle here with it. There was a little cute pass to get him out of danger, but there's nothing that you wouldn't expect at this level. And he just runs down and smashes into the net box. Now, I don't think Jordan Pickford should be beaten from this range if he's as good as everyone thinks he is. I personally think he's absolutely rubbish at the football. But yeah, but when it comes down to it, let's just have a little look. It's going to side foot right here into the corner. And I think Pickford should do better from this because it's just inside the 18-yard box. And it's just not good enough from the keeper, really. But also, I can't really blame Pickford. I just like doing it because it's funny. It's really that central defender just walking out with the ball and losing it with a terrible pass. Again, remember, did they score a goal on you or did you give them the ball to score a goal? Well, you gave them the ball and you made the mistake. I'd say that's about 65% of the Premier League is you making a mistake and then capitalising on it. That's what's just happened here, and that just isn't good enough for Everton if they want to stay up this season. Let's get on to the next goal. But before we do that, we're going to talk about Ashley Young pulling this player back because he's bad at the football and he's slower than he was. And yeah, it's just not good enough. It's a red card. It's like you're just asking for trouble. Yeah, look, as he comes in, he grabs him, pulls him back, pulls him down, and it's a red card because he's going in on goal. It's just unacceptable. Just unacceptable. And if they keep playing Ashley Young at right back, they're going to keep getting mistakes and similar mistakes like this. Not only for the first goal when he didn't bother to track the player, or little things like this. Yeah, it's just not good enough. You're letting your teammates down. You shouldn't be doing this. Now, I do also have a problem with this as well because as a coach, okay, if you've lost a player, what you really don't want to do is try to maybe ship another goal or two. Go, oh, look, we lost a player. Let's just try to regroup. We're 2-0 down. Let's not make it 3. Let's not overcommit. And this is exactly what Everton have done. Look at their shape here. They're overcommitting. They've got the ball here. I don't know what this is, but look at the separation from everyone. You just can't be doing this. And again, they're scoring. You've made a mistake. Everton have. And they're scoring on the counter-attack, transition, whatever buzzwords you want to use. Right? But you don't really want to be pushing high to try to get a goal to make it 2-1. You don't have that much time left in the game. You just want to be solid and give your team some confidence. Look, okay, yeah, it was a bad game. We should have got a penalty, which we just covered. It wasn't. We had a player sent off. Yeah, we got to lick our wounds and go again for the next game. You don't let your team overplay like this, be so expansive when you've got a player down. And you can see right here, one player wide, 2 players wide, one's in the middle again. They were doing this all game, keeping them high and wide. You can't have your left back on a mazy run forward when he's nowhere near the ball. If he was on the side of the ball, great, but he wasn't, and no one's going to pass to him. So basically, you've run all the way down, run all the way up here to create a massive gap for them to be able to pass the ball into. Look how easy it is. You're a player short. You shouldn't be really focusing on trying to get up there and get caught in the transition like this. It shouldn't happen because you know it's going to happen. Does that make sense? You know that this is how they're going to score a goal. So you just go, stop, right? We're not going to let that happen. But they do. So when the guy from out wide here runs in with a ball, I want you to look at Jordan Pickford's position again because it's exactly the same as the first goal. And he almost scores it from the exact same sort of position, maybe a couple of yards further out, and puts it straight into that corner again. Let's have a little look. As it goes forward, boom, 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 boom. There we go. You can see, and again, everyone's body shape is wrong because they're running this way and the ball's coming that way because they're not set, they're not in a proper shape, because they were too busy trying to go forward for some reason and not actually just, hey, let's just play the game out, lick our wounds, and see what we can do next week. Because sometimes in football, that's what you have to do. And that is one of these games. All of a sudden, though, this guy's on the break, slots it straight past Pickford again. It's a little bit too easy to me. It's just a little bit too easy. Well-deserved win for Brighton. Everton are going to struggle. They've got to change something. They've got to change lots of things, in my opinion. Other than that, I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.